ASMR Reality, and tonight we are going to discuss responsibility. Before we get started, I wanted to read you this quote I heard recently. What surprises me most about humankind is that we get bored of our childhood, rush to grow up, and then long to be children again. That we lose our health to make money, and then we lose our money to restore our health. That by thinking anxiously about the future, we forget the present, such that we live in neither the present nor the future. That we live as if we'll never die, and die as though we've never lived. That one really hits close to me because I do spend a lot of time thinking about the future, and I think it robs me of my present day happiness. I was recently talking to a friend of mine about, I read a book that she had read, and it took place maybe back in the 20s, like 1929 or so. And it was like really, really hard times. I mean, like they lived a unbelievably poor life. Like they were hungry a lot. And it really made me feel sorry. It like made me like feel bad that, we all think about the problems that we have today. But for most of us, if you're listening to this, you have the internet. You're probably not hungry, but so many of our forefathers were hungry. But anyway, the point is, she said to me something that was really interesting. She said, Derek, things have been hard since the dinosaur days. And it was like ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it truly has been. There's really never been an era that people didn't think this might be the end. We just all have our own problems. We have things that bother us. And I want to read this quote to you again because I want this to sink in. Because I need to hear it again. What surprises me most about humankind is that we get bored of our childhood. We rush to grow up and then long to be children again. That we lose our health to make money and then lose our money to restore our health. That by thinking anxiously about the future, we forget the present, such that we live in neither the present nor the future. That we live as if we'll never die, and die as though we've never lived. That's fascinating. It's just a wonderful quote. I made a video yesterday that I posted. I don't normally post back to back, but the video turned out small, and I didn't want that to be left up as my last video, so I'm making this one, so this one will be posted. But I spent a lot of time out walking my dogs to make that video, and just watching them. They're just so happy, and they need nothing as long as they're not hungry. All they want is nature. They just want to walk around and chase a bone, and it's like really there's no cost in me going down. Now I have to feed my dogs, obviously there's a cost in having animals, but it's nominal. And the time it took me to go out and walk with them was just amazing. I just felt good. It's peaceful, and it's those little things that can really bring true happiness to you. It doesn't take much, but we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others. And that's really myself to others, like that have more than I do, that's when I feel bad. I think about people that have just, massive amounts of wealth. And for me, it's not so that I can go buy 50 supercars. For me, it's what could I do with that money? I retired from my first career, and I've been gone from that job for 5 years. And I think to myself, what if I would have stayed? And I think I did it for my own well-being because I was working so much. But I thought, now that I have so much more free time, I thought, what could I have done with that extra money? If I had just stayed and endured those extra hours, And so it's just, it's just basically, it's here. It always happens this time of year. I kind of reflect on what are my new goals, and part of the problem is I really just don't have a clear-cut picture of what I'm going to do, and it's affecting a lot of my other decisions because in the past I've always had that goal in front of me. First, it was get out of debt. Then it was retire. And then once I retired, I really didn't like it. So then it was find something new. And then when I found something new, it was do good at that, which I have done, and now after 5 years in real estate, I'm kind of like, what's next? And so I'm just trying to kind of work that out. It's like, what do I do next? What is my next chapter? Because unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to make any money with ASMR, but I do it because I love you guys. So I'm not complaining. Please don't take it that way. But it's just the simple fact. I'm older and I'm not a hot chick. Those are the big channels, but so yeah, that's where we're at. But I want to get onto the topic of responsibility because I think that it might help some of you, because it definitely was something that I think was a key to a big factor in my success, was that no matter what I went through, I always took responsibility. Even if it was somebody else's fault, I still took responsibility for it, because what happens is if we blame someone else, if this is someone else's fault, then we can't fix it. If it's their fault, then what are we supposed to do about it, right? You're giving someone else your power to change it when you hand the blame to somebody else. So I really think a big key to success for highly successful people is they take responsibility for everything. They don't look for excuses. So, for example, I hear this from my fellow realtors. Oh, the economy's bad. Well, okay. Can you fix the economy? Can you do anything about the economy? No. You cannot do anything about the economy. But you have to ask yourself, are there people succeeding even in this economy? Yes. Okay. Then it's not the economy. What are they doing that you're not doing? That's what you have to look for. What are the people that are succeeding doing that you're not doing? So the answer is out there. I want to share this with you. This graph shows the median household income in the United States by ethnic group. And so it shows what groups make the most money. And it's not white people, not by a long shot. Number one is Indian American, people from India, not native Indians, but people from India. Demographically, they make more money than any other race in America. Number two, Filipinos. Number three, Taiwanese. Number four, Sri Lankans. Number five, the Japanese. Number six, Malaysian. Number seven, Chinese. Number eight, the Pakistanis. And then comes the white people. And I think that for white people and black people, we need to look at these immigrant societies and see what they're doing. They're not using excuses. It's so much better here than where they came from. That they come here and like, oh my God, this is glorious. Let me get to work and let me take advantage of the opportunities that America provides. Where I feel like for those of us that were born here, we get caught up in, we're spoiled. Life has become relatively easy, and we can, if we want to sit at home and take a welfare check, we can. We can sit at home and watch TV and never do anything. We can just sit at home and eat, use food stamps. You never have to work. This country will just take care of you, But it's not going to give you a satisfying life. It's just not. And I feel like somehow we've got to break this. We've got to break that victim mindset. We have to stop pretending to be victims. And once and for all say, that's it. I don't care. I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. Please understand that. I know there's some rednecks out there. There's some white people that are still horribly racist. But on the other side, there's every race that is racist. There's black people that hate white people. There's white people that hate black people. There's white people that hate Asians. We see it a lot now with Jews. It seems like everybody hates Jews. I just don't understand that for the life of me, where that hate comes from, but it's obviously out there, especially now we have the Israel and Gaza thing. It's like people feel like they have to pick a side, and we've got so many problems. There's an old saying that says, don't tell me about the speck in my eye until you take the plank out of your own. And that's kind of the way I feel about America. We are acting like we're in control of the world when we're falling apart ourselves. I just think we need to really clean up our act here at home. We've got such a blessing to have the freedoms that we have, and so many of us aren't taking advantage of them. And I just feel like we need to do a better job. We need to focus more on fixing our problems at home than trying to fight everybody else's battles for them. And I really feel like if we did stop and just said, okay, we're not going to interfere or intervene in anything anymore, automatically, arbitrarily, and then if somebody calls for our help, then we can go, but no more just intervention policies. That's the way I would do it if I were to be into some sort of office or something. That's what I would do. But I don't know. Life is just life is good, and that's what we have to focus on. We've got to start accepting that life is good, that we have grocery stores full of food. We don't have to have all these we don't have to have these ridiculous wealthy lives. We can just be happy with what we have, be grateful. Finding gratitude is so much better than feeling sorry, because that feeling will destroy, and you won't like your fellow man. Focusing on the problems all the time there's a lot of problems out there. I accept that, but if that's all you focus on, it's gonna make you miserable. You've got to find ways to focus on what is good as well. You've got to have a balance of that. So sure, I think it's important. You don't want to be naive and act like there's nothing wrong, because there's a lot wrong. But you have to also, if you're going to spend time focusing on problems about what's wrong, you're also going to have to spend some time thinking about what is good. And there's a lot that's good. A whole it's I understand that it's hard. It's nothing is easy. That's for sure. But again, part of life is like enjoying the journey, enjoying the challenges, or just like succeeding in spite of the challenges. Everything is like it gives you something to be proud of, you know. And I know like it's hard to change. I heard a saying one time. It said, imagine how hard it is to change yourself, and then you'll understand just how hard it is to change someone else. So we all know how hard it is to change. You know, it's so difficult. You know, I'm right now personally. One of my New Year changes was that I was gonna give up sugar because it's something that, well, like not like give it up forever, but just like for now, temporarily, I'm not eating any sugar, and I miss it, and it's not easy. I find myself craving it a lot, but I fight it off. I fight the urges off, and I just don't do it. And other than like craving it and not getting it, I actually do feel better not eating it, you know. Probably I just feel better because I'm being disciplined and accomplishing my goal, but I don't know that I feel all that much different in that I haven't had sugar since the first of the year. But and again, it's something that I will in moderation I'll add back to my diet eventually. But for now, I'm gonna at least go a full 30 days and just see if I feel any different, you know. But little things like that, they're difficult, they're hard to do, but you just commit to them and you decide and you just do it, you know. So, but yeah, I am not like preaching because I'm working on myself at the same time. I'm just giving you helpful ideas that have helped me along the way, because even, you know, this is where it gets difficult for me, is that even though I've made it this far, there's just something there, and it's like it's a problem. Like I want to move on to a healthy relationship. That's something I want to put into my life. I want to bring somebody with me into my life, but like I want to know where I'm going first before I ask somebody to come with me. And because I'm in this state of mind where I really don't know what my next chapter is, I'm trying to figure that out. You know, and I just gotta figure out exactly what I'm gonna do. I may just keep doing real estate, but it's just not something that I'm super passionate about. And so I just don't know. I have to either commit, because I know this, I'm not gonna do as good in real estate this year if I don't commit to it. Once I commit, I'm in. But I just have to make that decision. I have to decide that that's what I'm going to do for my next chapter. I'm just going to say, hey, I've came to the conclusion that I know my skill set. I know my strengths. And one of my strengths is I'm good at sales. It's just like I should focus on that. But in sales, you can do anything. So I'm trying to find something else that excites me, or trying to get re-excited about real estate, because there was a day I was really excited about it. So I just got to figure that out. So again, please don't take my message as preaching. I don't want to come across as like preaching. It's like we're going through this together. We've got to do this together. And so yeah, just wanted to kind of bring that up and offer that up as just some helpful advice. So I hope you found this interesting and relaxing, and I will see you on the next one.